Hello, my name's Neil Vanderplug from the Avanti ISOWay Sports Cycling team. Now, I've just put this video together to illustrate how, as a bunch, usually more than 6 riders, you can do what's called rolling turns. So, normally if you just do a turn on the front and then you peel and go to the back and you're in a single file, they're called track turns. So, when you've got more people, what you can do is roll in 2 lines and you have a bit of a circle of riders. One side is moving up and it's the right hand side in this video's case, and then as you get to the front and beyond the front rider of the left hand side, as you just get beyond his back wheel, you move across to the left hand side and start to go backwards. So there's one line that's moving up and then there's another line that's slowly going back. Now, the advantage of this is you don't have to sit on the front for too long, and you can sort of just do a fairly short turn into the wind so you can hold a really high speed. At this point here, we're probably going around 50k an hour. So at 50k an hour, you can't really hold that for too long. But if you just do a turn, peel across, and allow someone else to do another turn, you can actually maintain a really high speed by using everyone in the group. So the key is when you're moving up on the faster side of the bunch, it needs to be going not too different to the speed of the other side. So you don't want to have 2 lines that have got this huge speed differential, because if the slow line and the fast line are going very different, it's too hard to transfer from one to the other. You have to do this sprint when you get to the back of it. So as you're rolling over, when you move to that right hand side, once you accelerate up to the speed of the right-hand bunch, it should actually stay the same until you peel over towards the left. So how you do that? When the person in front of you rolls over to the left, they should slow down a bit. You shouldn't have to really accelerate. You would have to work harder because you're going into the wind, but you don't actually need to accelerate the speed. You just maintain the speed and smoothly roll over them. And then as you go towards the left onto the slow line, you back off maybe 20%. You don't just completely stop pedaling. So you just back it off maybe 20%. Now here's a good example of what happens when you go too hard. So the rider on the right here in red, have a look, he comes from behind the wheel here. So he's behind the wheel, he's left too much of a gap, then he accelerates up and rips the right hand side to pieces. So you can see the couple of people have followed him, but then the other guys behind that, the elastic band has snapped. So the rolling stops, the rider up the front eventually slows down and props, and then the speed of the whole group drops. So the rolling stops, the rider props, the speed drops. So that turn, it would have cost a fair bit of energy to do, but overall the effect on the bunch has been fairly minor, and it probably hasn't even helped at all, and it even actually hurts people because there's a few people have done a big acceleration there. So the key is to go nice and smooth. You need to roll over not too hard, but also not too easy. You don't want to just completely freewheel and drop the speed of the slower line too much. So it just needs to be very consistent. 2 lines, not too different in speed, just slowly rolling over one another, and you can really hold momentum, build it up, and go really fast, a lot faster than you can on your own. Alright, so our key tips here when you're rolling through. Number 1, as you're rolling over from the fast side to the slow side, don't go too hard and accelerate. You don't need to. Just hold the speed. You'll have to work a bit harder, but just hold that same speed and just roll over and keep it smooth. Now, when you are going on that slower side, you just need to back it off, only about 20%. Just ease off a little bit and allow that next person to come over the top of you. That'll keep it smooth. And then the last point is to communicate with everyone. If people are doing good turns, yell out, tell them that they're doing good turns. If they're going too hard, let them know. Just say, look, you're going a bit too hard, a bit too long. Or if they're pulling over a bit too early, tell them that they're doing that as well. You need to try and communicate, give people feedback so you can really sort of optimize everyone and get it working really smooth. All right, if you enjoyed it, subscribe. There's going to be more how-to videos going up, and hopefully you'll learn a bit. That's it for me. Thank you. Bye.